I was about 15 years old, and my parents decided to go their separate ways. I decided to live with my mother. My sister stayed with my father, and it was probably the best decision that I made just because of the following events that were coming. I was a senior in high school when I learned about my mother's condition when she came down with stage 3 breast cancer. The hardest point for me was trying to stay strong for her, at the same time me being very scared. The chemotherapy kind of started pretty quickly, and that is when all of my caregiving started. The main struggle really came when she decided to file for disability because she literally was not strong enough to keep working. When that happened, the bills didn't stop. I was freshly out of high school, trying my best at college, and I had to pick up 2 jobs, and at that point I decided to try to help her with the bills. My grandmother had a friend that knew about Hope Cancer Resources. My mother had never heard about it or anything like that. My mom was a very strong individual, never wanted help or anything like that, and Hope Cancer actually reached out to us. I just remember the struggles were so real from the chemo and the radiation and stuff like that. We would get bills and doctor's bills in, and my mom would literally just cry because she didn't know what to do. The peace that she felt just having one bill taken care of, just one phone call from them, her face would light up every single time. I would be sitting there and she'd get a call, and literally she would see Hope Cancer pop up on her phone and her face would light up. Because cancer patients, what a lot of people don't understand is they're still normal people. They still have the same feelings. You know, they're not numb to the world. They still see the world, they just see it in a different way of, am I going to be here next year? And that was the hardest thing seeing of my mother, was she was trying to not only pay her bills, but do as much for me and my sister as she could, because she was afraid that she wasn't going to be able to later on. My mother passed away May 14th, 2014, from a long, hard fight, breast cancer. I have recently become engaged to my fiance, Chandler. She came into my life at a point where I was kind of lost as far as feelings go, because I was kind of numb to the whole fact of losing my mother. And I guess that was one of the most special things about meeting Chandler, is she kind of came into that sense of the way she kind of filled the void that my mother left. I had come to find out that her grandfather had passed away from cancer. And it was really cool to be able to talk to another person that understood the effects that cancer had on not just the person with cancer, but the loved ones as well. She told me that her family was involved and how her dad was on the board with Hope Cancer Resources. When she told me that, it literally made me cry, because I knew how much of an impact that Hope Cancer had on my family and had on my mother. I guess it just really touched me because I never actually got to meet anyone from Hope Cancer Resources. All I got to see was the effects that they caused my mother. My gratitude for them is unbelievable, just because of the simple fact of what they did for my mother. I can't thank Hope Cancer Resources enough for the things that they said and the things that they did for her. And I'm truly grateful for everything that they did.